Hi everyone, welcome back to Homeschool Peace. I'm Cassandra. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to be able to share with you the Mardel A Simple Plan Planner. Now this planner is for next year, so this is the 2021-2022 school year planner. If you frequently visit my channel, you'll know that this is the planner we use here at our home. This will actually be the 4th year using this planner. I really can't imagine my school day without it, so I'm going to be giving you some really great close-ups of the inside of this planner and sort of walk through like how I use it, what do I do on a yearly planning basis, what do I do weekly, what do I do daily, just to give you an idea how I actually use this planner and how it works so well for our family. Before jumping into the new planner for the year, I just wanted to say that if you are currently using the Mardel A Simple Plan, so this 2020-2021 school year, and you want to know what's the difference between what I'm using this year to what's going to be for this coming school year, they are really the same. There's not a lot that changes from year to year, and as a homeschool mom, I actually prefer that. I wouldn't want things really changing. I'm used to where things are at, how the planning pages look, how my weekly schedules look, so I'm happy that there isn't that many changes. Sometimes they'll change a header a little bit, or maybe they'll make a new call out. There's not a huge difference. The main thing is how it looks. So this past year is being more the shiplap with a little bit of the purple. For this upcoming school year, you know, I have a little bit of some school images as well as a lot of greenery. And so you're going to see some of those changes. But if you are used to this current year's planner, expect sort of the same flow into this fall's planner. So starting right into the planner, the first thing that you can see is it has such a really nice cover. It is spiral bound, so it can open up completely, as well as you can sort of fold it and wrap it around so you can just keep it a little bit neater when you're trying to work through your weeks. Additionally, there is tabs that run down the sides. That's going to really help you find where you need to be. You have your general info, a planning section, and then this planner starts as in July 2021. Some people start their school year a little bit earlier. So if you're one of those families, you can start in July and start writing out your dates and everything that you have going on. And you're going to see a tab for every month running through 2021, as well as through 2022 through June. So the school year, they go basically July through June, and then at the end you have some student record tabs as well as an extra tabs. I love having the tabs. They're nice and sturdy. The pages when you go to flip are glossy and they hold up really well. I haven't ever had a tab or one of these pages rip on me. In the very first section, you have sort of like this welcome area, and then you go to your sample pages. If you are new to putting together one of these planners, highly recommend reviewing the sample pages. These sample then pages, you can then see where you would then use them later in your planning section, as well as then for your monthly and weekly planning lessons. So here, just taking a quick look, you can see here in the beginning, you have the student name. This is for their weekly schedule. You know, I have in the past tried to outline my actual sort of concept of a weekly schedule, like what do I want my kids to do at what time of the day. I have found that just doesn't work for me. If you watch some of my other videos that I talk about the difference between having a homeschool plan versus having a homeschool schedule, I really recommend just having a plan, an idea of what you want to do today, and not really focus on the time of the day. So I don't really like coming up with an actual schedule, but if that's you and you like that, if that works well for your family, obviously go ahead and fill that out. The part that I really do enjoy in this is the next page, which is the yearly overview. And so what they have is in the planning section, as you see from this example, they have the 4 quarters laid out, as well as the 36 weeks. And then this one is for the student Anna Grace, and the subject is her math. And so what I like to do is, I do the same thing with my kids. I list out what curriculum we're going to be using. You know, here in our home we use Math UC. There are 30 lessons for Math UC, as well as those student pages that we use and different tests. So I basically say at week 36, I want to be able to finish up my math. I want to get through that final test after week and lesson 30 for Math UC. And so I put that week 36, that's my last test. And then what I do is then I put week 1 and we have obviously lesson 1 and what we have going on with our sheets. And then I sort of back in to filling up the rest of the quarters. So going, okay, well, if I try to finish from week 1 through week 9, you know, maybe my goal is to get finished through lesson 8 of Math UC. And then I'll move into the second quarter and say by week 18, I want to make sure that we are done with our chapter 15 lesson, as well as any tests that are related to that. And so I'm able to sort of fill in the gaps and fill out for the whole entire year, what should we be working on every single week? And this might seem, if you're new to homeschooling, maybe a little overwhelming, like that's a lot to plan out. But by having it down on paper, then when you are working on what do you need to do for each individual week, I go back to this page all the time and I'm able to say, oh, that's right, today we're working on lesson 2 and these are the pages we're doing for this particular week too. Then going on after that, you're going to see some other sample pages, things to accomplish, special activities. I would say in the beginning of the school year, I do fill out this information. As the school year goes on, I really don't. The main part we're going to get into next is the actual scheduling of what we do every single day, and that's where my information I put in. So the next one is just an overview calendar for the month. Every month has one of these, which is really great. You can just see the whole month, cross out dates if you're going to be away, or if there's a birthday or a special event, you can mark those field trips right on here and be able to see the big picture of the month. Very helpful. Then moving to the next sample, you'll see this is what you're going to see for every single week. So you see for this example, this is September 13th through September 17th, and you can see this particular example has that same student that is Anna Grace, but you'll see other names. So you see right here under math, you see AG, which was for Anna Grace, as well as you see TK and TJ and DJ. So in this planner, they suggest using your kids' initials to be able to know what they're supposed to be doing with math. So what's really great is you can see one picture of what all your kids are doing for the day for each of these subjects, and you can fill in where it says Bible, math, science, history, English. You can fill in exactly what you want your kids to subjects they're working on and what they need to accomplish. And so this is what you're going to be using and seeing on a weekly basis. So then jumping into the actual planning section, so that's the next tab. So that first tab was just your general info, gave you the sample pages. Now this is where you start planning. So in this planning page, right now between now and the beginning of the school year, this is the great section where you can just get all that info down on paper. So right here on the student, we see the weekly schedule, you see that that's blank. That's again where I would put my kid's name. Over here on the yearly overview, each subject that I work with my kids, they're going to have their own subject. So my kid's going to have my kid's first name, his subject math. Then the next page I'll flip would be his name again, be his reading lesson. So I'm going to put through every single subject that I'm going to be going through for the year and then working to that end goal. Like where do you want to be by the end of the school year? Putting that on for your week 36 and working back and filling in those spots, making sure you have a really good plan for the year. With this, it can fill up for 6 kids. So there is a student section for 6 kids. If you have more than 6 kids, you might have to double up, or maybe you are teaching, if you have more than 6 kids, you may actually be teaching the same couple kids the same thing. So you might need to make a few changes for how you do it, but up to 6 kids. And then let's just jump into one of the actual schedules. So we have for July, we can take a look at that. Here in the beginning was that section that I said how it had the things to accomplish, special activities, websites and such. I don't really fill this out, and I'm going to be honest, I don't. I have tried to in the past. It's not my priority, but if you love journaling and you like filling out this info, go for it. What I do fill out is the next page. There's your July 2021. I will put on here if we were starting school in July, which we start in August, but if we were, I would put on here any special activities we were doing, any special dates. And then moving into the very first one, you can see this starts as of June 28th, and you would then see you're running right across the top, the specific dates for that week. Running down the side, I would put the subjects my kids are working on, and then I would start plugging in, looking back on that planning sheet that I had. If I'm looking at math, I'm going to put in there, my kid's initial and what math he's going to do on Monday. And then the next day, what is he going to do for that next day? And I'm just going to walk through filling in every single thing that he would do for those days. After that, you're going to see that it just runs through the year, and I'm going to jump to the back where it says student records. The student records is a really nice section if you are in a state that you do have to record 180 school days, which is what we have to do in the state we live in. All you do is you cross off or circle, whatever you like to do, star the days you actually go to school and you do school that day. And then after that, then you just record up to that 180 days of school here in the state we live in. And so this page I actually rip out and then I put into our portfolio for the end of the year. There's a few other extra pages in here. There's a curriculum tracker. So if you'd like to keep track of what curriculum that you've currently purchased, what are you purchasing? And then in the extra section, there is a grading chart. And then there's a few different pages for your, maybe keeping track of some of your activities or your, the leaders of part of different groups you're part of, contact information and notes. And in the back, as in the front, I didn't point out at first, there is a nice pocket. I do enjoy having the little pocket when you're working in your book. It's just nice to have a little really sturdy pocket to just slip a few things in. And so that's really helpful. So that is really the overall of what is inside this planner. The things that you're not going to see is some planners you see that it's tracking the parents, mom is exercising, or maybe it's what are they eating for dinner that night. Different things like a grocery list or whatever. Those things aren't in here. I really like, as I've looked at different planners when I was first picking out which planner to use, I liked how this one really stayed on point, was really focused in on what am I doing for my school day. I liked that I was able to have one planner that all my kids were in, and I was able to really organize their information. So this planner has really been great for us. So hopefully this is something that you can pick up as well, and it'll help you out. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of a look into our current planner, what we're using, just so you can see a few samples of how I'm using this planner and how it works well with our family. So here on this page is my son's Sunlight. This is for his Bible, history, geography, and literature. And I simply write out numbers because Sunlight has certain days in their schedule. If you use Sunlight, you have like day 22, day 23, and it has specific items that you're supposed to accomplish for those days. So I write down the actual day right here into the planner. So right now we are currently on week 21 of the school year. And I can see that in week 21, and I had filled this out in the beginning of the school year, in the summertime actually, that on week 21 we want to be accomplishing the day 129, 130, 131. And so I put in there what actually I want him to accomplish. And so then I can jump then to where we have our current week. So this is week 21. And here at the top, I have Sunlight, language arts, math, science, our loop, and etc. Just a blank area to put anything extra that comes in. And you can see there underneath our Sunlight up at the top, his initial CW, I have 130. And so that matches exactly to what I have back on that planning page. So whenever I move into the next week to figure out, okay, well now I want to move into what would be week 22, what should he accomplish for week 22? So I would open up my week 22 right here, and I would look through back to that planning page, and I would see that for week 22, he's supposed to do 132, 133, 134, 135. So that's for me to know that that's what I want him to accomplish throughout that particular week. And so then I make the goal to put that on there so that I know that what we are supposed to accomplish for the day. So it's sort of like a back and forth jumping between the planning page and then what you're doing for the week. But by doing that, it's really getting you on a good pace, so you know you're not moving too quickly through your curriculum and you're going to have all this extra time at the end of the year, or that you're not going to get through everything that you wanted to. And what's really nice too, like on this Sunlight page that I do have, I have some extra geography pages that he uses in a workbook, and that's what I have. The SSG is sort of the little label of just saying that once a week I want him to get into his extra geography book. And so that's sort of outside of Sunlight, which helps me to sort of keep organized to know what he's supposed to be doing every day. And so I do this for each subject with each kid, and it works so well. So again, if you're looking for a planner, definitely look into this. I think it'll really help your family and help you stay organized for the fall. I hope this was helpful going through this planner with you. If you have any questions, leave those comments below. I'd love to be able to help you out, or if you want to see other images of the inside of the book, I can share those as well. And then if you are interested in this planner, and say you're watching this video in early 2021, I would highly recommend going over to the Mardel site as soon as you can to order this planner. This planner does sell out every year. They only print a certain number of them. And so obviously with a lot of extra families homeschooling, even last year they did sell out even earlier than they normally do. So make sure you grab yourself a copy as early as possible if this is something that you would like to have for your fall upcoming school year. So before you leave, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.